Alright, this is WWJ Whipping with Joe. Anyway, we got the trio this morning. I'm going to show you folks how I do this crank and pop. People say that crank and pop existed for a long time, and maybe it has. I have a different crank and pop, and my crank and pop is it's done all the time. And this is what I'm going to show you how this is. I'm taking off the rods. It's easy to see this way. So what I'm going to crank here. See what I'm doing? Whenever I'm cranking down, this comes up, which is the rod. Poof. So what you see here is when you're cranking down and you're pulling this up, you're going to feel resistance because you're cranking that lure in and the rod is bringing the lure in also. That is my crank and pop. This is not crank, 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 pop, crank, 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 pop, or sweep, where you crank back to the lure, pull back, crank back to the lure, pull back. No, this is every crank. And this is 49 strikes of big fish. They all hit the same way. Now small fish the same way, but then but just watch my videos and you'll see what I'm doing. You'll see my rod is very fast, the tip. So whenever you're going down, this has got to come up. It's not real big, not 12 inches. Okay? So, but like I said, when you're cranking down, you're cranking this lure inside the water. So it creates a lot of torque. This is torque here going this way, and the torque is coming up. See? Boom, 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 boom. It's like that. Okay? That's the difference with my crank and pop. And like I said, and it's all the time. It's all the time. All the time. Boom, 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 boom. So it's like boom, boom, boom. So whenever you're cranking this, boom, boom, and there's a lot of torque on the gears inside here. One's going this way and the gear going back the other direction. That is my crank and pop. So when you're cranking and you don't feel the tension when you're cranking the lure, you're not doing the crank and pop correctly. Okay? This is especially with a popper. Now with stick bait GTIs, they're just straight crank. But mine is not. I'm using a popper. It's smaller popper, but some poppers are bigger. Papa Joe's small one, the Rebel Wind Cheater is a big popper, same as the Pili Lure. So the Pili Lure is very difficult to crank it in, and you would need more power to do it. And basically that's why the fast ratios normally fail than the slower ratio reels. That's what I found out. Like I said, so this is my crank and pop again. So the people who are watching my crank and pop, this is my crank and pop. Poop, poop, poop. So whenever I say I poop, poop means I'm cranking and this is coming up. So poop, poop, poop. So whenever you're cranking down, you're cranking this up. Boom, boom, just like that. Bang, 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 bang. And that's why it creates a lot of tension and torque on my reels, and that's how they feel. They're not feeling because of corrosion. I'll make another video about that, how to maintain it. But we're going to do a couple more videos on it. So this is my crank and pop. Boom, 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 boom. Out of 49 big fish, you check even the small fish. Works the same way too. You'll have a strike with a crank and pop technique. Why? Because that's the action of the lure. The lure is going like this. It's pew, 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 on the top of the water. Erratic action, fish bound to hit it. That's what I believe anyway. Works for me. Again, WWJ Whipping with Joe. Crank and pop style. Aloha.